solution to most issues is very clear to the person that has the issue. Many issues that come at men have pregnated solution and blessings. I believe it's a man's responsibility to find his way to his area of calling, because there his angels are waiting.
Hello and welcome to another episode of our Sense in Nonsense series. Sense in Nonsense is designed to showcase seemingly nonsense experience of people's challenges that they've gone through and overcome, and when they look back, they can make sense of it. With me, your host, Jacob A. Shomoye. Welcome. Today, our guest is Mr. Korede Olabanji. Welcome to Sense in Nonsense.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a minute.
Yes, it has been a minute. For the benefit of our audience, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, so I'm a Korede Olabanji. Everybody knows me as Photonimi. That's my business name. And Photonimi has been 23 years now, by His grace. We're purely into still photography. We do studio, we do events. Actually started with events. And formerly a chartered accountant, but now a full-time photographer. Blessed to be a photographer, I always say. So I think that's what for now.
Fantastic. So you mentioned first and foremost that you are a full-time photographer.
Yes.
I would say that that's a media entrepreneur. But anyway, but before that, you were a chartered accountant. This show, Sense in Nonsense, as you know, is looking at challenges that people have gone through and overcome. Is there any particular one that you can share with us? I mean, I'm sure there are several that you've been able to overcome. Even the transition, pivoting from chartered accounting into photography, I'm sure must have been gut-wrenching.
Yes, it's so interesting when you said the sense out of nonsense. I could relate 100%. And I will quickly share two stories here. When I was going to go into photography, I told my wife I was going to go into photography. And she vehemently disagreed. That how would it be that herself has been addressed as a wife to a chartered accountant? And that time I was working with an oil industry. She said, so they would now be referring to me as a Yahoo photographer. Like, yeah. So I had to wait. I didn't like it, but I'm of the opinion that if you're married and you want to sleep, you better let your wife approve whatever you do. Otherwise, it's you that will be losing your sleep at home.
Indeed.
So I had to wait until one day we were in church together, and a bishop that was preaching said, if you are a worker, if you're a staff of any company and you don't own that business, and you don't want to be a slave to money, he said, then more than one channel must flow to you. Fortunately, my wife was with me on that day. And I said, Kemi, and I said, you can start.
Oh, wow.
And before she changed her mind, I quickly bought the camera and I started. Second story was my best man, as in my best man when I wedded.
Right.
So 2 years after the wedding, I went into photography. So I told him I was going to go into photography. And he said, hey, Korede, see, you want to be a photographer? Then let's seize that relationship, because I can't imagine myself being addressed as a photographer's friend. And so we severed that relationship.
Oh, wow.
And today, I'm blessed to have moved from being an accountant to what I am now in photography. So I understood it.
Okay.
Sense out of nonsense.
So, just that in itself, I'd like to understand what was considered about photography then.
What was considered, in those days, photographers never got respect. When the photography was the bottom of the pyramid, base. And just like I always say, whatever you do, if you are being insulted, and you can't smile, then go and look for another career. So because this is what I've always believed in. So photographers in those days, no, base of the pyramid. And so that's how I started. But because I love it, then I came into photography because I wanted to fill a void.
Right.
Now, my elder brother did his naming, as in one of the children's naming ceremony in those days. And I was not a photographer that time. And the photographer he got came with camera and all of that. And when my brother was expecting pictures, the guy came back to say the film got burnt in the lab. And so no record. Right. Then another experience that someone shared with me, photographer said the film burnt. This is how people burn things. So I decided to come into this photography that time to bridge this gap, to feed that void. I see some people, you trust them, will deliver.
So let me just go back a little bit, because we grew up in the same generation. When we were growing up, our parents wanted us to have a career.
Yeah.
So it was either you go and be a doctor, an engineer, an accountant, a lawyer, and all of that. So it's like, a career. So it's like, those were the recognized careers then. And like you said, photography, I mean, even sports, if you said you wanted to play football, then you'll be beaten to a pulp. That's what you want to play football as a career. So it's interesting that you chose photography, but now you're beginning to identify that, you identified a gap in the market. And then, so what? You then had a love for it, or you had an interest and you wanted to pursue that interest?
Okay, so I think it's at this time I have to mention a friend of mine who gifted me with a camera, my first camera. But they lives in US. So he relocated and called me after he had settled in New York. That Korede, I want to say thank you to you for living with you for 3 years and we never fought. I said, okay, no problem, we're friends. And I said, no, I want to say thank you to you, and the way to say thank you is to give you a camera to bring us something you have but you didn't know you have it.
Wow.
And I said, and what was that? And he said photography. So I laughed. I said, photography. I've never owned a camera. He said, don't worry, I know you. He said, maximum 2 years. I know what you have done. He said, so I'm sending you a camera. And he sent me an Olympus camera. Then I started using it. Getting used to it. At some point, if you invited me to your event, I wouldn't come with gifts. I just come with my camera.
Interesting.
And by the time I was done, if I sent you these images, you would say, Korede.
Wow.
At that time, I had married. So I would always call Raf, who was my wedding photographer. He said, I took some picture. They said they loved it. How much will you take? So he would tell me, I'll collect money, I'll give it to him, he will enlarge.
Interesting.
Then that's how it went until I stumbled on a problem I had in my office that time. I saw a document that broke my heart, and the system I was working with is privately owned, and I personally didn't believe in unionism because this is someone's business.
Indeed.
So I had to present the case. We had to wait until it was attended to, but I was very concerned. Then my human resources manager of Blessed Memory, Mrs. Awani, just said, Korede, do you know that all these photos that you give us free, they are the best that we have? Why don't you commercialize it? And she promised to say, I will introduce to people that will pay. That's how this thing started.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, really? Oh, yeah. That's how I thought about it. I was just enjoying it and all of that. So the next thing I did, when my housing allowance was paid, which was 400,000 naira in 2002, okay, I just added 2,000 naira. So my first camera cost me 402,000 naira in 2002. That was a lot of money.
Oh, yes. Indeed.
So by the time I told Mr. Ani that I spent the whole of my housing on camera, I said, eh? And I tell you, sir, the first 3 people she introduced me to, I got my money back.
Interesting.
All right. So that was what actually now led me. And I said, oh. Then a friend of mine, Shegwadumi, who even assisted me to register, because he's a lawyer in my office, they said, you can register. So he registered for autonomy. So Shagun was the first person that gave me a job to do. So he got to the United States, and there's a cousin of his at his wedding, and they gave him the responsibility to get photographer. He said, "I'm not going to get any other person. It is you." I said, "Well, I've not started." He said, "No. All that you always give, they are the best. Jalo." And I said, "Okay, you know what? You come and pick me up." So he came to Kwango, pick me in my house. We went to Kenya, did the wedding. He said, "How much?" I said, "Let me do my calculation. I can't charge you. Let me first calculate." Mama. Then I told him how much he was going to pay. So what I just did was to add 9,000 naira to my cost because it was error of film. And I just gave him. He said, "Hey." In my mind, I said, "Come on." Because I was not sleeping, and it was on a Sunday. Because I was not sleeping in the house, I got 9,000 naira. How much do I give my wife? I think there's life here. There's hope here. I just calculated, and that was it. Then I got encouraged that no one be now, and that's how I started.
So, sorry, let me take you back a little bit. When you purchased that first camera,
yes,
I hope you didn't tell your wife that you use your house and that's what you used it to.
But you know how it is now. You just decided that I got the camera.
Indeed,
because she didn't even bought my housing allowance. So, but again, my wife has a little trust in me.
Yes,
because she knew that. For me to have waited for her approval, I believe that was enough. That was yes. So she didn't. I can't remember what I told her or I didn't tell her, but that was never an issue.
Because the things I can pick out of that, first of all, it's the relationship and the trust with your spouse.
Yeah.
So that was very critical because even though you had a drawing to this, you still needed her to give you the okay.
Oh yes. I want to sleep.
And that was very important.
Yes.
You see, I picked that up. And I also picked something up as well, which a lot of people seem to miss, which is like somebody saw in you what you didn't see yourself.
No, I didn't see it.
Because oftentimes, we're saying, "Oh, I want to fulfill purpose. I want to this. What is my what is?" But somebody else sees in you,
not a pastor,
what you don't see. Yes, I mean, it takes me back to the Johari window about how you see yourself and how other people see you. So that's very important to recognize what other people see in you that you don't see yourself.
Yes.
That's one. And it follows on again in the sense that for somebody else to believe in you, oftentimes when you don't believe in yourself, you need that other person's belief in you to carry you to the point where your own belief begins to kick in.
Correct.
Because that's exactly what you're describing about people that believed in you, they'd seen your work, and then, somebody now said, I mean, it reminds me of the classic story of one of my mentors, Les Brown, who said it was one of his friends came to pick you up, said, I've got this job for you. You are going to do this job, even when you are still like, me, to go and cover somebody's event.
Yes.
I've never done it before. How do I do it? How do I charge? I don't even know what.
Don't worry, you can do it.
And somebody encouraging you that you can do it.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So everybody, just for the benefit of the audience here, you need somebody who believes in you. And you need to also believe in them that what they're saying is right.
Yes.
And that they are for you.
Having the listening ears.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you now covered that event, and that was the beginning.
Yes, 9,000 naira was my first profit.
Wow.
And I love it.
So, but you were still in paid employment then?
So it was when I now did that, I said, come on. Now that I've decided to go into photography, because it was after that time, I said, okay, let me not even do this as a business. So I now got my camera. Then I said to myself, I needed to know what professionals knew that I never knew. I knew how to take pictures, but that's as a novice. I wanted to know what professionals knew. So I then walked up to a photographer in Surulere that time, Dolphin Studio. And I said, sir, I want you to train me. And my camera had arrived at the time. How much will you take? He told me 35,000. He thought I would negotiate with bulk with it. I was just okay. And I can't and I give him. I said, but sir, I only had 3 weeks. I didn't have more than 3 weeks because I took 3 weeks
leave from work. Yeah.
And I said, oh, why? But I said, sir, I only have 3 weeks. And I must know everything you want to teach me. And so we agreed and I paid him. And so while he was teaching me, I was reading. I was online.
You were learning.
I was reading. And the 3rd week, I was talking to him. He didn't understand what I was saying. And then said it was time for me to move.
Yes.
In fact, I was still with him when he told me that I needed to write a book. I said, how does an apprentice write a book? I tell you, so, but honestly, this, to reflect now is to just say, whatever you set your mind to doing, if you're very intentional about it, you achieve it. And I think for me, that my belief, my thought, my resolute, my intentionality that I needed to go this route, nobody could stop me.
Interesting. You see, again, talking about belief and somebody else's belief in you, the converse is also true. Because when you embark upon a journey, the naysayers will come up.
Yeah.
Those that say you can't do it, those that say you want to do this. You know what? If you're going to go down that road, let you and me, you know.
Right.
So you need to always be aware of the naysayers.
Oh, yes.
And as somebody said, he said the naysayers that don't give them audience.
Yes.
Don't give them life.
Yes.
Look for the people who are considered to be oxygen. Oh, sorry. So some people who are considered to be lifters,
Yes.
who are considered to be flames. And as she says, if you give oxygen to flames, it grows. So the flames in your life, the ones that you need to give oxygen to, they're the ones that you need to be concerned about rather than the naysayers. Let the naysayers go and focus on the oxygen, on giving oxygen to the flames.
Yes.
Interesting. And then now you also talk about when you have a determination,
Yes.
something in your heart that you want to do. I believe it was Napoleon Hill that said that whatever the mind can conceive
Yes.
and believe,
You can achieve it.
it can achieve.
Yes. In fact, the way it was, because I read the book, it said, if a thought can come into your mind twice, that means you have the ability to achieve it. Go after it.
Interesting. Because you're a living example of that. Your life and your path, your journey in life just cements that.
Yes.
Cements that for us.
By His grace, yes. And we're still here doing well.
So tell us about that journey into photography, because it looks like you were determined, even though you had the naysayers,
Yes.
but then other people's beliefs in you got you to the point where your own belief began to kick in, and then it was proven to you that this was the path.
So, soon as I decided to start, and I was not ready to leave employment at the time, I resorted to doing 3 things at work. I became more proactive at work. I became more loyal at work. I became more dedicated at work. And why? Because I didn't want a saying to be credited to me that since he started doing photography, sir, he's not serious again. No. And I didn't want my boss to ever say, since he started doing photography, he's so insubordinated. Nope. So those are the things, and I heard that, and I tell you, sir, my first set of customers were my management staff in the office.
Wow.
As an accountant, I covered my MD's daughter's children's wedding, my deputy MD, all the management staff in the office, whether they photo shoot or family. As an accountant in the office, I collected my personal checks in and out of Lagos, and that was it. So, and I still spent 5 years.
After you started?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
And in 2006, I started in 2002. So in 2006, second. Then 2007, I realized I've been making my salary from photography. And I was only doing photography at weekends. Another thing was I never used office time for my personal business. No. Because again, I was mindful of heavens. I was mindful of what God would not like me do. I was not ready to cheat. I was not ready for anybody to drag me in the mud. So I tried to be upright. Alright, so I then told my wife, I said, Kemi, I wanted to resign. She said, why? I said, because I've been making my salary from photography that I was doing on the weekends. And he said to me, no. How can you resign? You remember? The same person that said don't start. Now I'm in it. I said, okay. So what I now did was to print out my document, my bank statement from when I started photonomy. Just brought the bank statement out for 5 years. particularly for the last 2 years that time, and she could see that consistently I'd been making my salary from photography. And I said, but complete our house before you resign, because you're already building that time.
Right.
And then told her, I said, see, it's not only photo, it's not accounting
That has
salaries.
been contributing to that.
This is also contributing.
Indeed.
But I still waited. So she said no.
Okay.
But it was not convenient anymore because it was taking a toll on me, but I was never sick. So in 2007, the office had to be shut down and everybody was relieved. I was happy. Ooh, I was even on leave. As I was called that office shut down. I just ran to the office, took my things, empty. Everybody was morose.
Indeed.
I was very happy. And I've always told them, I said, see, this is owned by a private person. His children go abroad. This man's children on return, they could tell their father, these ones are too old
and get rid
to
of.
work.
Yes.
And they will send me to my father's house. Let me begin to prepare. I've always told them. So I was the only one celebrating, while all of them were very pensive. But my joy, my wife would not force me to now reapply anywhere. And she wouldn't apply on my behalf. That was my greatest joy. And I was home. I started doing it from the house.
See, so it just doesn't make sense. First of all, some people's loss was your joy.
Yes.
Because when that situation presented itself, and so many people in life find themselves in that situation, and they're like, see what life did to me. See my life. When they don't take charge, they don't take ownership of their own lives and the destiny that God has set them on a path for. But for you, that was what you did. Because you recognized that, hey, hang on, I've got this path, I've got this journey. Now I can begin to follow this journey full time.
In fact, there was a time, because I used to read Harvard Business Review, Economist, that time. So I saw an article in one of them. And when I read, I photocopied the article and I circulated all my management staff, including my MD. And the meat of the article is this. It says it's been researched that workers, as in on salary, that commit to another hobby outside the office hours, they're blessed if their hobby has commercial value. They tend to be more productive at work than those that 100%
committed just to that employment. Interesting.
So that encouraged me more.
Interesting.
And so there was also a time I went to see a doctor. I think I saw someone to that hospital. So while they were attending to the person and all of that, the other doctor now said, "What if Mr. Kojo, come in? Let's have a shit chat." I didn't know whatever got him to invite me to his office. And I was in his office. I said, "Run me through your average day." And that time, I was very regimented to my timing. I would always wake up at 4:45 a.m. Then my house gate will open at 5:15 a.m. I will always arrive office at 6 a.m. though office resume 7:30 because I never liked traffic. So I rather prefer to be in my office 6
and then wait for.
So and all of that. And 7:30 to 4:30. Then if I didn't want to rush home, I pick my laptop, I begin to work on my pictures. Then I go home after traffic. So on normal day, in those days around 2006, 2007, I will always go to bed around 1:30.
Wow.
Because I go home, I will start arranging at home. So 1:30 and at 4:45, I will still wake up and all of that. And this man said to me, "You can never be hypertensive." And I said, "Why, sir?" He said, "Because what you do outside office hours, it replaces the lost energy that you dissipate
Interesting.
at office."
Interesting.
So I got it right. And honestly, sir, my life is still like that. Well, I don't sleep at 1:32 anymore. But I tell you that if you are in employment, you got to do something
else
outside that will not conflict
with your absolute,
but rather will be supporting and giving you succor and energy.
Interesting.
But if I may say this now, so people ask me, how do you relax? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Because when I carry camera, I'm
Yeah,
relaxed.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't get tired. If I carry camera, I'm not saying anything again. So, because photography gives me energy.
I guess when you're walking in your purpose,
Yes.
you're walking in your calling,
Yes.
it gives a fulfillment that nothing else can give. And that fulfillment, it's interesting you say that, because a lot of people go to work and paid employment mostly. And the stress of that, they're looking for fulfillment elsewhere. And that fulfillment could be in alcohol, drugs, partying, and all of that. That's why people look for all those extracurricular, because they can't find a calling, or they haven't found a calling, something that gives them fulfillment that can, like you say, that can re-energize them. So because this is what you're saying. The funny thing about it is that it's medicine, even though it may not be medical.
Yes.
It's interesting. I hear that, and I can recognize it, and I know it, because what most of us seem to do, and I certainly fell into that. Once you are in paid employment, it sort of takes over your whole life, and you get home, traffic, etc. You're tired. You're just like, you complain. You tell your wife, your spouse, that you want to do this, you want to do that, and you begin to sound like a broken record. Oh, I have this dream, I have this idea, I have this, but you don't get up and do anything about it. Which should not be. Because you did something about yours.
Yes.
Although, having said that, it took somebody to give you a camera in the first place. So there was a trigger.
Anyhow.
Yes.
I see.
You still ended up going to pursue that. Yes.
And this is a statement I make often. The state of your heart is what determines the blessings that come your way. I won't say I've always had a pure heart, but sometimes genuine spirit will always pull the right things your way. When I was in employment, in fact, till today, I can make up to all my previous bosses and gladly. I remember when I went back to my place of employment 3 years after, my MD, when he saw me at the elevator, I said, Korede, and took me to the person that I never knew anybody there. And this man said to them, in that one, he said, the shoes this guy left, no one has been able to fill.
Interesting. That's a testimony in itself.
So this absolute loyalty, the Bible says he that is faithful in little.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So once you are faithful now, live future. But again, there are some other things that are also associated to this. I know one of my strength is to listen. And I think God understands that I always listen. So he enjoys to send people to me to speak.
Okay.
So people that don't listen, they don't hear. Because by themselves, they are all enough. Because God already knows that this one will not hear. So there's no point sending anybody to speak.
How ridiculous is that? So tell us, how do you listen?
Well, let me say, I'm blessed to be who I am. Let me put it that way. And most things that come my way is by grace. But I have unusual blessing to listen. And I tell you, sir, when you're talking to me, I'm listening to what you are not saying. And what you are not saying is the solution to what you are saying.
Interesting.
All right. So what I say to people, when you're listening, listen to what is not verbally being voiced, but is very loud. Many times, even our wonderful politicians here, when they speak, we don't listen. Meanwhile, they are speaking what they will
They're
do.
saying what's yes.
Meanwhile, what they are not saying is what is loud in what they are saying. But we pretend not to know that that's what they are saying. All right.
No, that's the sense in nonsense.
But honestly,
yes, because it doesn't make sense. What they're not saying.
Yeah, what they are not saying
is what
they are not saying
loud.
is what is loud. So I many times, and also even when we have issues, we don't listen. Even we don't and I tell you, sir, solution to most issues is very clear to the person that has the issue. But because it's not attentive enough, it's not seen. Meanwhile, the solution is shouting, I'm talking. It's not being philosophical. This is I do my life.
Yeah, so practically, how do we hear that which is being said but not audible.
Absolute attentiveness. It's not when you speak that you hear. It is when you are attentive, even when nobody is audibly voicing anything. Why is it that when you relate?
Sorry?
Okay, so you are British.
No. Please enlighten us.
Yoruba.
Yes.
They say, mind what to say because of relative.
Okay. Yes.
Mind what to say because
the wall is listening. The wall has ears.
So why is it that that's missing? Is wall human? Do you understand? There's a Bible saying, it said, speak ill not of a king, because the birds of the air will carry it to the king, and the king will get to know. And nobody is in this room at the time
that you speak. True.
Not to go away from what we're saying, is to come back. Many times, the solution, even in the heart of the issues, all you needed to do is to be attentive and listen very well. I hope you know, also not taking it too far. Many issues that come at men have pregnated solution and blessings. But because you now, at the site of the issue, you already died. Meanwhile, is this issue that you're having that will unveil the next level of your breakthrough to you? But you are not even ready to. As soon as you saw it, you died. Meanwhile, you are supposed to go through these issues joyfully. Now, I'm picking my words. Joyfully.
Yes.
So that the attitude with which you receive the issues is what determines whether you will enjoy this blessing or you will seal up the blessing and you just suffer in vain.
I believe it was James that said it in the Bible. I consider it all joy.
And now, when you fall into that,
diversity.
There is joy. There is joy. But
joy
will you be patient enough?
No,
or you will have run back to your mommy's tummy.
These are things that don't make sense, because very often at times as well, even when we're having a conversation, when somebody is speaking, oftentimes what we do is we listen to respond.
No, we are waiting.
Just like I respond straight away.
No.
As opposed to listening to even that which is not being said. It doesn't make sense.
Let's go a little further. When I left my place of employment, I started doing it from my work, from my house. And this was 2007 December. 2008, I was still working on my house, from my house. Life had become terrible. But 3 stories here, I hope I can be fast about it. So I left December 2007. January 2nd, I received a call from one of the clients I've worked for as a photographer.
Okay.
And this man said, Korede, how are you? God said I should give you anything you want in Lagos. What do you want? This man is a lawyer. This man was into real estate. This man was a big man. Had some high rises. But because I had some personal philosophy.
Grace.
Not even grace, personal principles. Because I lost my mother when I was a baby. I've never seen her. And I lost my father when I was 19. And for me personally, I don't beg. It's a principle. Because I have a belief. He that begs will never have. So I don't beg. So you can call it pride, that's a problem. I personally don't beg. And it's been like that since, because I just believe that there are 2 people that I'm eligible to beg from. My father and my mother. And since they were both late, I didn't want anybody to drag me in the mud. So that principle played against me. I told this man, I said I didn't want anything. And he asked me 3 times. I said, sir, I don't want it. And he dropped the phone. By June 2008, I was already suffering. I used to have 2 sources of income. Now it had become
one. To one, and then even then.
So my wife that used to give one-time allowance, I'm not saying okay, so I break it time, maybe twice. I will still pay, but 3 times. So I called this man. I said I wanted to see him. He said I should come. So I went to see him in his office in there. I drove there. And he asked me a simple question, even before I started talking. No, he said, okay, so why do you want to see me? I said, sir, you're asking me, sir. I spoke Yoruba. I said, sir, I've started suffering.
Yes.
And I said, I believe I called you earlier this year. I said, yes, sir. I was answering. He said, what did I ask? I reminded him, as if he didn't know. He said, well, what was your response? I said, sir, I told you I didn't want anything. I kept quiet for some 2 minutes. Get out of my office!
Wow.
Fool! What do you have?
What?
I told you God said I should give you something in Lagos. You don't ask for land. You don't ask for car. You didn't even ask for money. Arrogant fool. I stood up. It was on the 5th. His office was on the 5th floor. I forgot there was an elevator. I descended the staircase. It was when I got to bus stop. I was trying to take Pangu. I now remember I actually drove.
Oh wow.
So I walked back to take my car. I will never forget because I was the smallest in my eyes on
Of
that
course.
day.
Of course.
But I didn't know that God was preparing me for something. In 2009. And again, for me, whatever come at me, I embrace it. Whatever come at me does not break me. No. I will want to look for why did you come my way? I'm looking
and what are the
to
lessons
start
to learn from
and
there?
the future. And September 2009, I woke up in the morning, 6:30, and I saw a message on my phone. God woke me up at 2 a.m. and said, that photographer that works with you has integrity. Take him to his dream. What is your long-term dream, Korede? And I replied the text. My short-term dream is to make my studio and printing lab on Lekki Expressway. That was the year of BlackBerry. And so she replied, she said, and how do you hope to achieve that considering the cost of Lekki area? And I replied, I've been waiting on my payoff from my former employment. And I said, that's an oil industry now, upstream. You didn't engage photographers. I said, no, auntie. I'm actually a fellow chartered accountant. That photography was my hobby, but now has become mine. So I've been waiting on my payoff. And he said, okay. God said I should take you to your dream. How much do you want? He said, oh, by the way, come and see me in the office. So I went to her office. And she repeated everything she told me. She saw that I was crying. She said, we are crying. I said, auntie, integrity is my watchword. I've never sat with you to discuss my life. So I'm just amazed at the God that validated my integrity level.
To you. Interesting.
I said, auntie, yeah, she told me, said, Masha no me. Don't pity me. Whatever you ask, I will give you. He said you will return it, but you return it anytime it's convenient for you. And I further told her again. I said, auntie, I didn't see any will that said there's a free money in my future. I said, whatever you give me, I will return it. He said, okay. He said, today is September 24. I'll be out of country October 1. Whatever you wanted, I wanted it to have cleared your account before I left out. Now, 2009 was not a year of transfer. No. It was a year of check. Yes. You have to go to and it will take 3 days and all of that. So I say, okay, no problem. Second day, today is Friday. See me Monday morning, 7:30. And I said, nobody discusses outflows on Monday. He said, this is a Yoruba. And I said, no. It has become a responsibility that she must achieve.
Interesting.
Don't pity me, see me Sunday morning. Monday morning. And on Sunday, this woman sent me a message. Remember to factor in your working capital, knowing that you won't start making money immediately. Oh, yeah. What a grace when God is ready. And this was when I made a statement. When God is ready to elevate you, he doesn't need your help. But what he needs to be aware of is, are you still alive? So I keep telling people, no matter what happens, stay alive. And I got to her office. As I was going to bring her, because I documented everything, he said, no, don't give me any document. Just speak. And I said, 25 minutes. Show my toy!
Wow.
Will it be enough?
In 2009.
I said, ma, it will be enough. He said, no. God said I should take you to your dream. With 25 minutes, take you to your dream. I said 25 minutes will not take me to my dream, but it will put me on the path to my dream. And my brother gave me the money. So she now called someone. Apparently she arranged a loan. He said, my brother needs 25 minutes. Don't ask him anything. Just give it to him. And I go home because she said I should say we should see on Wednesday. I told my wife, oh, Brandon, miss you. Let's go together. You know, people don't believe I'm married. And me and my wife were going there. And it was a single signature. Then the contract paper that they gave me said I should sign. I said, ma, my name is not here. He said, I don't know you. He said, the woman that sent you here said she's the one that will be responsible if you run away. I said, God forbid that I ran away. And I took the money. God gave me grace. 2.5 years, no, 2 years, 3 months, I paid off because I was paying 1 million every month. And it was when I finished paying, the woman now called me back. Said, Korede, where did you get money? I'm aware that you have zeroed the money. You liquidated the loan. I said, why did you say where did I get money? That would I not have disappointed the God that woke you up to validate my integrity? And she made a statement that day. She said, Korede, you are not the first person I helped. You are the only Nigerian that returned my money. Everybody I've helped ran away. He said, by the way, that place I sent you to is my company. So many times, and that's why I said, he that is faithful indeed. Thank goodness. And this woman said to me, he said, except I didn't know you need anything. I've taken advantage of that. I've enjoyed multiplicity of that amount. And I keep returning. About 6 years ago now, I didn't take anything from it. Every day of life, we keep writing exam to qualify for the next breakthrough of our life. But we didn't know.
Yes.
Ordinary 1,000 naira. Oh, Mr. Shomoye, can you please give me 1,000? I want to buy credits. I will give you back when you return. And in my mind, I'll just sit down there and say, what does he need? The 1,000? I won't return it.
Of course.
I have failed the future.
You don't need it. Yeah.
I will help you to answer the question that you don't need. I will help you to say you don't need it. Yes. I will help you.
Yes, indeed.
And that has
Indeed. Interesting. That's amazing. It's almost like when you get on the road that is the path of your destiny, that is when destiny itself shows up.
In my words, let me convert what you just said. I believe it's a man's responsibility to find his way to his area of calling, because there his angels are waiting. Angels don't look around to look for who they will help. They are waiting for you to arrive where you are supposed to dwell. Then they will open heavens on your head.
Wow.
That is my story.
Wow. The angels are waiting for you at the place of your calling.
Benny, they won't look for you. They don't look for you. They are waiting. Where is this person? Maybe you are still in another person's farmland. Okay. And when they are there for some time, at the right time, they don't see you. They leave. My opinion.
Wow, interesting. Because what happens in life though is that too many people are distracted. Distracted by doing other things. Oh, this is where they say it's raining now. Oh, this is where the money is now. Ah, that person is making money in that field. That person is doing this and they're doing well. So let me too enter.
Unfortunately, I don't believe in that school of thought.
Let me join them.
No, I don't believe in it. I personally, and these are the things I say to myself. I came into this world alone, and I will live alone. So there are two things I owe myself. I owe myself fulfillment. I owe myself success. Question is, if I came into this world alone and I will live alone, why should I meet someone that will distract my future?
Yes.
It's not possible now.
Yes.
Someone I met on the road, you now meet me, and now we follow you. So where? It's not possible. All right? Honestly, sir. Well, let me bring my son in here. So recently, I had to feel. My son had to feel me, feel what I do.
Okay.
No. He went to attend an interview in an embassy. And so, when he was at the embassy and they asked him a question, who funds your school? Because he is in a Russell group and in Britain. So he told them, he said, it's my father. I said, what does your father do? And they said, oh, my father is an entrepreneur into photography business. I said, that one is doing big English now. Your father is a photographer. I said, no. Dad,
indeed.
You are not a photographer.
Indeed.
You are an entrepreneur in photography business. So that they have watched over years, you remain consistent in what you do. Now, brother, the mistake men make is greed. They won't concentrate on the huge blessings in their hands. They will now want to scratch on someone, and such a person is a thief. If I dwell where I'm not supposed to dwell, I will be regarded as a thief. Why are you saying sense in out of nonsense? This is Africa, whereby there are some jobs that are exalted.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciated in society. It's fine. Let them continue.
If that's your calling.
But see, there are some very plenteous, nonsensical, seeming nonsensical careers, and that don't make sense.
Yes.
But that is where God is dwelling with people.
Please, yes, that's where God has called you to be.
Do you understand?
And that's your calling.
I will proudly say, I'm here. I'm not diversified. I'm still here. Right? This is now 23 years. And all I do is photography. And there is almost nothing that I desire in my life that God has not assisted me to achieve.
Interesting.
So you started when you say believe in yourself. How can you engage in a career you don't believe in? You will never prosper. You just have to first believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
You want to go and write an exam. If you don't believe in what you're going to write, you will not even read up for it.
Yes.
Do you understand? It's your readiness that evoke your preparedness to even make effort beyond sleeping. Do you understand what I mean? So what an adult is, you make a decision, then you stand on the decision. Then you are able to defend your decision. I don't make a decision, now I failed the decision and I'm not looking for who to bring in to blame. No, you're a child. An adult, you make a decision, even at failure, you are standing that I actually made that mistake.
Yes. I got myself into this, I'm going to get myself out. With the help of God, I'll get myself out of it. Yes.
Do you understand what I mean? When I was going to leave an enjoyable, an exalted career for a seeming nonsense career, I called God into action. God, help me. At the way I resigned at 38, I'm going to be 56 now. Many people that see me, they say, you are not growing. I said, I know my age, don't worry about that. My brother said, and what I told God, help me. In future, let me not run away from my contemporaries that I'm living at this class.
Yes.
Let it not be that there are some great things that my contemporaries in accounting achieved that I, as a photographer, will not be able to achieve.
Yes.
So I see that many people fail because they didn't even set their mind on great things in life.
Yes.
Do you understand? And I think this is where it starts. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? Are you doing this career? Are you in this arena because every other thing failed you? Or you are in this career believing you make a success out of it, and there is nothing your mate achieved that you will not
be able to achieve as
These
well.
are the things.
Yes.
And that's what the Bible says. He says, as a man thinketh in his
It's
heart.
hard.
So
So easy.
you thought about failure,
That's what
failure will come.
end up. Yeah. That's what will end up. Yes.
Well, this is my opinion.
Yes. No, I mean, what you've described, I also see where the Bible says, he who is diligent in his work
Yeah.
will walk before kings.
Really.
And that's obviously what you're doing.
Mm.
So, in this journey of life and what you have been able to do, what is one truth that you can take out of this? One truth that you can share?
Hold God. Have a great dream bigger than your account balance.
I believe it was Mandy Hill, the writer, who said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're probably not big enough.
Yeah. The Bible says, I think in Psalm 34 something, he said, take me to a place that is higher than I. I love Amplified Version. He said, the height I can never attain without your help. So for me, I've always dreamt big. Despite the fact that I operate where people look down. And I can tell you, the farthest place I went as an accountant in an oil industry was Port Harcourt. But since I left, I do average 3 countries every year since 2010.
Countries,
Yes.
not states.
In fact, last year I did 5 countries, all the expenses paid by my client.
Oh, wow.
What's my business? You want me to go to Italy? I'll just give
Why
my
not?
card now.
Yes,
in
exactly.
My passport.
Interesting.
Why? Because the content of my heart is what determines God's blessings to me.
And it's pure.
And the truth again is this, and I believe this. The yearnings in our hearts, yearnings not voiced, the yearnings in our heart is louder in heaven than voiced prayers. So you want God to attend to you? You have to conceive it. God has to, because God does not see. In fact, I'm not sure He even hears prayer. He sees our hearts, and He decides to respond
to the yearnings of our hearts.
Yes.
Amazing. Interesting. So, Mr. Korede Olabanji,
That's my full name.
what would your future self thank you for?
Hey, my future self, which is in the hand of God, thank me for that I remain in the destiny He ordered for me. Because I'm going to be consistent.
That you
And I'm
steadfast.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Because what am I looking at?
Interesting.
The only aspect I've been silent about, which I always want to shout out, there's a belief I have, and that has been part of my success. Before I married, I made a decision. I said, whatever challenge my wife brings to my life shall become my cross for life. And so when I married, it is well. I realized this is going to be a cross. And God has helped me carry. And this brings me to what 1 Peter 3:7 says. And I believe he addressed praying husband. He said, husband, take care of your wife as a weaker vessel, realizing he is a joint heir to your grace of life. He said, nurture her, that your prayer may be answered unhindered. So I believe something. As a man, you want to succeed. There's an Orisha in your house. Until you satisfy her, your heaven may not open.
Interesting. On that note, this has been a very interesting discussion, conversation. And we pick some nuggets from here, some learnings, which is about believing in yourself with the aid of somebody else's belief that can carry you to the point that your own belief begins to kick in. It's also about having a desire, a passion, and pursuing that passion. If you don't have it, find your calling. And if you cannot find your calling, ask people around you, what do they say about you? What do they say you're good at? What do they recognize in you that they can help you to bring out? Because everybody has something in them that is seeking outward expression. And when you do get that vision, it's like one of my mentors, Trent Shilton, says. It says that the vision was given to you. You cannot take off your glasses and give it to somebody else and have them look through and the vision will not be blurry.
Well,
they can't see it because the vision was given to you. So beware of the naysayers. Those that say you can't do it, you this, you that, or what kind of this, what kind of that. Look for the flames, the people who believe in you and your dreams. Because when you get in that position, your destiny helpers, the angels, have been waiting for you that will lift you and carry you up to where you cannot even begin to imagine.
Correct.
And with that, we thank you for joining us in this episode with Mr. Korede Olabanji.
Photo Nimi.
Yes, Photo Nimi.
Yes, that's my great father's.
Thank you very much for this awesome experience.
I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Your humility, I'm very humble, and I thank you for this privilege.
It is well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Ẹ ṣé gan.